What's up? Tonight, we're going to talk about something that is fun, something that why people fail. And these are just five things of why people fail, whether it's a pressure washing business, it could be any business, but this is five biggest mistakes for a pressure washing business. And so these are some that I'm going to tell you a little bit of how you can fail by not doing these. And I will tell you some stories about a little bit about each one. And I've got five different ones of how people can fail and why you will struggle and why your business won't be successful by doing these five things. I got to move some stuff here. I got too much stuff here. But this weekend was a good weekend. I've got lots of sun here. We went to 2 soccer games sitting out in the sun. It's hot. Thank the Lord. It's finally the sun's shining. We are in almost the end of May and we finally get a beautiful weekend that doesn't rain all weekend and just crappy weather. This year for pressure washing business and business in general, and the weather has not been real nice up here in the north. It has been kind of crappy around here. So this is getting people out on their deck. They're looking at their dirty houses and people will be calling. We got people from Vietnam. What's up, Neil? So Kurt Gear just became a member. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Save that. I don't need this in front of my face. What's up, Mr. Caden? How are you doing? Pink Robin from Florida. What's up? So I have a question for you all. So one of my first questions I have for you right now is I do a text sign up. So if you want to know when I go live, you can text King, K-I-N-G, to 859-696-1101. But my question is for you all that have signed up for this. So today I sent the message out 2 minutes before. So it's 9 or 8:58, and I send it out 2 minutes before. Would you rather me send it out 5 minutes before, 2 minutes before, right at 9 o'clock? I would love to hear in the comments because, as a successful business owner, I want to do what's best for you and as the customer. And so I'm asking you, the customer, would you rather me send it out 5 minutes before, 15 minutes before, right at 9 o'clock? When would you like me to send out this text so that you can know when I go live? So if you want to sign up for it, you can sign up at King, K-I-N-G. You don't have to put the parentheses. And it's 859-696-1101. And that is my question. That is my first question for you all, so we can figure out when's the best time to send this text out for you. What's up, Alvin? Good evening from Vietnam. We got Nathan Brinker in the house. I'm here tonight. You get out what you put in. That is 100% true. What's up? Not marketing. Oh, these are the 5 of dark horses. Let's see. Not marketing enough, spending too much on equipment, charging too little, not providing a professional quote, paying attention to Google ranking and reviews. You've pretty much hit them. That is almost not in the, I've got them ranked a little bit different here, but that is pretty much the 5 mistakes that you can make. It's been okay here. What's up, Trisha? How are you? We didn't see you tonight at Monday or Sunday night. We actually had, and I didn't put a text out for it, but if you're in the membership, if you join King of Pressure Wash, you can, on Sunday night, every other Sunday night, we have just a Zoom call on pressure washing, so you can go check that out. If you want to, the discount code for this till May 31st is schools out, SCHOOLS out. What's up, Mr. George? How are you doing? Rose down here, 30 minutes before. 30 minutes before was the first one. I'm just get the YouTube channel notification, but I don't know. You go at 9 on Sunday and Wednesday. That is true. Oh, heck, 10 minutes before. I'm usually in the middle of something. Okay. 2 minutes was good for me. You missed one answered phone. Hi, Trisha. What do you think about the name Leatherman Soft Wash? 2 minute works. So I'll hit your answer question here. So I personally, as not just for the business name, is if you're also trying to do your marketing, right? And as your marketing, we know that Google likes to have pressure washing. So most people, when they're looking for pressure washing, they are going to type in, pressure washing near me, pressure washing Cincinnati. And so if you look at the results, very rarely is there another name in there. Usually pressure washing will be in the name. So I would probably highly recommend you put pressure washing in there. And you can put city in there, and that will also help you. But you do need to name your business that. So through your LLC, so that way when Google's like, because otherwise Google can flag you if you don't have it as your business name. So this has been something for years. It still works today. So it is something to think about when we're naming our business. I know a lot of times we want to name our business whatever, but like myself, my main business was ProServe Group, and I had Pressure Wash Cincinnati as a DBA, and I had Christmas Lights Cincinnati as a DBA. So on my website, it said all about Pressure Wash Cincinnati was the kind of the DBA that I went with. And the bank side, only reason why I had ProServe Group, because that was more of the bank side of it. My first website, I had ProServe Group, and it sucked. So that's why I went to Pressure Wash Cincinnati and Christmas Light Cincinnati. So that way it does help with SEO. It does still help today with SEO. So as I'm writing a blog, instead of ProServe Group does this, Pressure Wash Cincinnati is the #1 pressure washing company, blah, da, da, da. And what that will do for you is that will allow that SEO juice to run down for you. So that's the reason why you want to be that name. So pressure wash in the name is better than soft wash. Only us know soft wash. Soft wash is an industry term, just like house wash is an industry term. So I would name my business something with pressure wash. Now, the only place that soft wash is maybe getting more known is down in Florida. A lot of people in Florida do know the soft wash because you do have to soft wash down there. But for that, this is definitely something. So far this year, I have 8 goals in 2 months. I got 3 of them accomplished. That's awesome. Awesome, awesome, awesome. What's up? Let's see. Who else do we got in here? We got a couple other things, and then I'll get started. I just got a 4-star review with a guy I did a walk around with who was happy. He even wants me to come back and do the driveway and roof. Asked what I could have done better, and no response. Thoughts? Some people will not give a 5-star review. And there is studies out that if you have a 4.9% out of 5 is actually better than a 5.0, because sometimes people will think that it's fake reviews. So that is something that can help you. I sent you a message on Mossy Roof I got to do soon. I saw Joe D do it with an M5 twist with this damage the roof. Could I use a ball valve also to remove the majority of the moss before treatment? You can actually use a broom if it's not too bad. It depends on how steep it is. So, and I did send you a message back. How much is off with the new promo code School's Out? The first month is free. First 30 days is free. Hey Jason, good evening. How are you doing? Any chemicals you know of that can clean a buffer tank that had diesel in it? I like to use it as my buffer tank. It's a plastic container. I would just use a really good degreaser in it. You could probably even use Dawn because it's going to break the grease down, and you would probably be all right. All right. What up, Jason from High Point Pressure Wash from Florida. All right. Let me get going here, and then I will start answering your questions and stuff. I didn't get much response out of what I was asking here. So I know I got more people on here. And so I'm going to ask the question one more time. One more time. I'm going to ask the question. I do, if you didn't know, if you want to sign up for the text that I send out. And my question is would you like it at right at 9 o'clock on Sunday and Wednesday? Or would you like it at 2 minutes before, 10 minutes before, 15 minutes before? I've kind of got a couple answers, but I was kind of wanting to see what you all have thoughts there. Before I get started, because this is, I do have my pressure washing training. If you wanted to do an in-person training, I highly recommend it. You know, somebody asked the other day, will I get value out of this? And this is reason why I do my in-person class. Excuse me. Shoot, that came out of nowhere. Text me naughty pictures, Jason. I don't even know who that is. It's just Facebook user. You don't want, I can send you a naughty picture. I don't even know who you are. So this is, my business is DBA and extra, but Gmail. Yeah. So this is definitely 2 to 5 is great. 10 minutes, 2 minutes, 2 minutes. Okay, cool. So, yeah, I'm going to send you some pictures for sure, Donovan. I'll send you something. So we are having a training coming up in June, and it is going to be an in-person training. And so I got asked the other day, why should we come to the in-person training? And so in this training, this is a hands-on training, and where you actually get to use stuff, you get to use it. We go to a real house and wash a real house. And so you will get to know how to do the house. You will learn how to do the steps, the 26 steps, but that's not only half of it. So if you're thinking about doing permanent lighting, Tyler is coming in to teach the permanent lighting on Friday. And so permanent lighting is a great business to get into. I think you could definitely do $1 million in permanent lighting a year. I know there's people out there that are making over $1 million a year doing permanent lighting, been in it for 3-4 years. They've kind of come up with a lease program where they make a lot of money off of it. So it is definitely something to think about if you're wanting to do permanent lighting. Tyler knows this stuff inside and out. Tyler is like a genius on this stuff. He's kind of really dug deep into it. And so we will be actually installing it on a house. So that way you will not only just get to see it, but you actually get to put it together, put it up on the roof, and you'll be able to see how it works and how you will be able to do everything with that. And then the most important part of the day is the marketing day. And so marketing day is marketing sales, as long as the portion of the light training gets done. We won't be in that Saturday, but if it's not, we might have to take some time Saturday afternoon to finish it up. But it is definitely something to think about for permanent lighting and pressure washing stuff. So with that, let's get this ball on the road. Let's talk about 5 reasons why businesses fail. And this is probably, when I look at this is probably the number 5 reasons that business fail. And they can fail for a lot of reasons, but these are probably the very best 5 out there for sure. So the number one that I've got up here is undercharging and not knowing how to price stuff, right? We think that, we're going to make $100 an hour and we're going to be very well off. And this is just something that, we can be $100 an hour and I'm making great money, but you don't understand that what you're doing and how you do it is definitely reason why we want to charge, right? If you don't charge enough, then there's a problem. And so a lot of people think that, I'm going to go do 5 houses a day and charge $200 a piece. And I'm going to make $1,000, right? But what they don't realize is as much work as it takes to get those 5 houses, you could do 5 houses and get those prices up to $1,000 a piece. And you could do 1 house a day in 5 days. And guess what? You've made more money out of the 5 days of making $1,000 a house than you did doing the 5 houses in 1 day and make $1,000. And so it's just as hard to get the $1,000 houses as it is the $200 houses. You know, I have some people in my membership. They come every Monday night on Monday Night Marketing. His name's Luke and his girlfriend's Destiny. And he called me yesterday. And he's like, Jason, I just want to thank you. He's like, you know, you talk about, and I talk a lot about this into the mentorship. I talk a little bit on here, but I'm really talking about it in there. He's like, you know, we do door knocking, and this is how they're starting their business. This is how they're growing their business. And they go around and knock on doors. They literally just go around and knock on doors, and talk to people. And so he's like, you know, you always teach that. Why are we going into the dirty houses? Why do we go into the dirty houses? Because we look at a subdivision and we're like, oh baby, that is my customer. Look at every house down that block is dirty. And he's like, you know, we would go down through there and we might get 1 or 2 houses at $200, $300, $400. And he's like, you know what? We did what you said to do. He's like, we went out and I went down where the clean houses are. And within 3 hours, my girlfriend, Destiny, had closed a $1,700 job, a $1,200 job, and he had closed like a $1,000 job. So the moral of the story is send the women out to do door knocking and they'll do better than you. And so this is why it's important that we do this, right? This is why we want to target our right neighborhoods. So this past weekend, Dan and Lindy, who I've been talking a little bit about, they just hit their $100,000 mark. They work part-time. They work 2 days a week, 6 to 8 hours a week, and they just hit their $100,000. And they actually came up here to Cincinnati and took me and my wife out to dinner. If you've seen it on Facebook, you would have probably seen the picture of us going out to dinner last night. And so they were talking about how their average ticket right now is $2,000. Average ticket is $2,000. And so we were talking, and it's like, you know, I thought when I start this business that my neighborhood was the number one neighborhood. And his neighborhood is not my neighborhood, right? That's not where the people are that I want to be at. We want to find the people that want us and that want our services, right? The clean houses over here want our services, and they will use us over and over and over. And the best people that I love to hear from, and I hear this, it was into mentorship the other day, and they were saying, Jason, what do I do? It's a clean house, and I make sure them are our customer. Those are our people, right? Those are our people. We want those as our people, because if they're willing to keep their house clean, guess what? Their neighbors are too, and that whole block is, and all their referrals that they send me are the people that I want. You know, poor people know more poor people. Rich people know more rich people. And so it's important that we know where our neighborhoods are. We know who our customer is. And the best way to do this is if your average ticket is over $1,000, if you've had 5 tickets that are over $1,000, see where those houses are clustered at and start looking at where you're selling stuff at and where they're clustered at. And then we can start attacking that area more, and we can look at different things to see where it is. So with that, undercharging services, this is probably the reason why most businesses fail right here, is because they think they can come in cheap, and then, you know, they don't calculate all their costs. They don't see how much things cost. They don't know what their cost is. They don't know how much anything is. And this here is probably the number one reason why I see people fail. The other thing is this could also fall underneath this too, is financial, right? If you don't have, and I know I teach a lot of people starting from nothing, and it can be tough, but this is definitely something that you have to think about when we're dealing with undercharging for services, because we don't charge enough. Right here, what income level do you find is the best ones? I find multimillionaire, they'll give me call off my signs. And there is a point that you can get too high and they can be a pain in the butt too. So there is definitely, you can be too high and that can be a problem too. So charging the right amount, and I hear it all the time, down here in Florida, you can't make no money in Florida. And I call bullcrap. Up here in St. Louis, you can't make no money. Bullcrap. The people that think you have all this competition are the people that worry about competition, and you're not worrying about your business. And when we're focusing on our business and not your business will fail. So it is important that we make sure we charge enough so that way we can keep our business moving and doing what we need to do. Next is not providing a level of customer service. What does your customer journey look like? Do you answer the phone? Number one, that's the number one thing. Do you answer the phone? Number two, how long does it take you to get the quote out? Number three, if they send in a text and a form request, how long does it take you to get that? Are we getting them a quote in 10 minutes? Are we getting them a quote in 10 days? Because if we're going for 10 days, our business is going to fail. This is probably the biggest reason, number two, I would think, out of everything on here, this is the number two reason why business fails. One, you ain't got enough money. And two, you don't answer the phone. You don't do customer service. You tell them to go screw themselves. And customer service is the number one thing. The biggest thing I would tell you to do is learn customer service. We went to Petland the other night, me and my wife did, and we just go to look at the $3,000 dogs. And because it's funny to see these people. But here's the thing I would tell you about it. So I'm always watching people's sales process. I'm always looking at their scripts, listening to their scripts. I'm always trying to figure out what they're doing, right? And this girl, Abby, she's probably 18, 19 years old, and she followed the script amazing. Like, she didn't wait. So my wife's looking at this stupid dog, and instead of, and what she did is, she didn't ask, hey, do you want me to go get that dog? No, she comes and brings this freaking dog out and says, here, you want to sit down with this dog right here, right? She just knew it, getting it done. So, and then the next thing is she comes over and see how's the dog doing, and then goes back. And then she goes and she's like, comes back and it's like, does something else, and then goes back, and right, everything is scripted just right. Never tells you the price of the dog. And so when we get through this sales script, right, she finally comes over and she's like, okay, so if you buy this dog, you get this food, and it's like 10 things. It's like this big giant package, Maggie Danette packages, right? Not just the dog. Here's training, here's food, here's bowls, here's kennel, here's every objection that you could come up with of reason why you don't want this dog. Here it is, right? Here's all the things you need. You got the dog training, you got the food bowls, you got the food, you got the water bowl, you got the carrying case. It's got, I don't even remember. It has all kinds of stuff. We ain't talked about price yet. Here's all the benefits, right? Here's anything objection that you might have. Well, I don't have no dog food. Here you go. The dog's training. Here you go, right? They give you everything packaged in a nice package so that you take this. So, and then they let you sit on that, and then you get ready to try to give this stupid thing back, and they're like, they want you to ask, how much is it? Because it's always fun to see how much these dogs are. They're way overpriced. Don't ever buy one there. Go buy a mutt if you need to. They're all mutts anyway. The unbeatable offer, right? Yes, 100%, right? And then she comes over, and finally my wife and I are like, how much does this dog cost? So we're guessing each other. She's like $2,500. I'm like $3,500. And so she goes over there and comes back. And so she's like, there's this awesome dog you can have. And they're using its name. And it's so cute and all this stupid stuff. And she's like, and we have payments. So you can do payments. It doesn't even cost you nothing to take this dog home today. We can just start putting it on payments. Or it's $3,500. I'm like, ugh, right? But the sales process, right? I watched that sales process follow through, and she was smooth. And it's not that they was given a script. You know, a lot of times people are always asking me, how do we get these higher stuff? And it's about the script, right? Are you scripting? You know, here's another one here. I'm going to use Sean Day right here. Sean Day, if you need help finding employees, go talk to Sean. He can help you out. I promise you, he can help you out, or he will help you. If you ain't following him, he's got a group. I think it's called whatever his logo is there. And he can put a link in there, and I'll put it up here. But in his group, he teaches you how to get employees, right? And it's about the script. It's about the script of how you get employees. It's about the script of what they say and how they say it. And so when we do this, whether it's customer service outside the business and we deal with that, or it's customer service with our employees, because a lot of times we think an employee is just a blah and they're supposed to do what they're supposed to do, but that's not the case, right? We got to teach that the same way. So customer service is so important for our business. And if we don't do customer service, this is how you're able to sell a freaking $3,500 dog. You know, I was talking about Lindy and them, and they sold a $10,000 window cleaning, a $12,000 house washing, pressure washing, and the dude gave them so it was a $12,000 pressure washing job, and it was this woman, and she's real picky, and they did it all, and then she had a punch list, and that punch list wasn't involved in it, but he went ahead and did that punch list. That punch list took 3 hours, but it was a $12,000 job. He did the punch list. She gave him a $500 tip. Right? So this is why customer service is so important. Customer service is your number one thing, that if you do not want your business to fail, have amazing customer service. Amazing customer service will make your business stand out, and other people will use you. So let's talk about the customer journey, right? When they call you, how fast do you get there? Well, first off, do you answer the phone? If you do answer the phone, how do you answer the phone? Right? Do you have a script? Do you go down the script, right? Because if you're just like, hello, that's not very good customer service, right? Do you allow them to talk? Have you put questions in there that makes them pull their information out of them, right? Tell me a little bit more about the project. Is there a certain time limit you need to get this done by, right? Because if they got a party this weekend and we don't know about it, guess what? And our competition knows about that. They want it done this week before this party. Well, guess what? And you don't book them out for 2 weeks, you're not going to get the job, right? But if I know they got a party this weekend and they want it cleaned by this party, and I might be booked up, but I may charge a whole lot more and be like, you know what? I'll give you 2 prices. One price is about 3 weeks out. The other price is for this week, and I'll get it cleaned for you, right? And that's how we can charge premium pricing, because they delayed, and that's how we get there. So the level of customer service is definitely what's going to set you apart. This will help you get more reviews. It will help you get more referrals, because if you do amazing customer service, that means you're asking for more reviews. That means you're asking for more referrals. That means you're sending out thank you cards. That means you're sending out texts. That means you're sending out thank you texts. It means you're sending out Christmas cards. It means you're sending out referral cards, gas cards, whatever you want to give away. And this here is definitely something that will help you grow your business, or it will help you lose your business. The next one is not using the right equipment or buying too much equipment. Right? Buying equipment, and they buy all this equipment and they got $20,000 in equipment, but guess what? They won't spend no money in marketing. And you know what their business will do? Crash. That rig will be on sale for half price in about 3 to 6 months, and it will say, I decided to do something else, or my life's too busy. Those are the good buzzwords to say, I didn't know how to do marketing, and this is way harder than I thought it was. Jason never said pressure washing was an easy business. You know, pressure washing is the easiest part of this business. Anybody can pressure wash. I taught many 18 and 19-year-olds to pressure wash. The trailer will sit there and rot away. You're 100% right? So pressure washing is the easy part of this business. Everybody wants to come, that's why I always talk about my in-person class, right? My in-person class, everybody wants to come for the pressure washing. I let you use the pressure washer. You'll get to use this week or this one. You'll learn how to do window cleaning, exterior window cleaning. We'll do roof cleaning. We'll do house washing. And you get to use all the equipment. You can use downstream. We'll use the gas pump. You'll get to use all this equipment. And it's fun. Don't get me wrong. It's fun to use all the equipment. But Saturday is the day that you learn what love languages are and how people buy off of love languages. You learn your disc profile and how people buy off your disc profile. And you learn not to sell pressure washing and not to sell a product or service, right? But we sell market stuff, right? This is why it's important that Saturday is so important of why we do this. So that way you can get more money, higher paying jobs, and everything along those lines. Not taking safety precautions. I always say a lot of times people start building a business, and I always do what happens if you get hit by a bus? What happens when you climb up a ladder on an A-frame ladder, on a deck, and it's one story, like you're only 10 feet up, and you fall and you break your back? So there was a guy last year that this is what happened to him. Climbed up a ladder, fell down, broke his back, left his cell phone in the truck. There was nobody home. He literally had to crawl down the steps, across the way, to be able to get his cell phone to call somebody because he had fallen and broken his back. He had no other backup plan. His wife did help him, but didn't help him on that job. And so after that, he had to have her keep trying to figure out how to pressure wash their son so that they could still have money coming in. Because what happens to you if something happens to you, right? And so this is why it is important that we need to make sure that we're taking safety precautions. We're, F-bomb here sent me a picture today or yesterday, and it was bad. I don't want to probably post it on here because it's bad. It will go in if you want to know where my safety stuff is, it will be in one of those pictures because I've almost seen this happen 2 or 3 times. This isn't for the first time I've seen it happen. So this guy, the one that I almost seen happen, had the gun here, changed the thing out, pulled the trigger, and it went right up his face and just missed him. Well, the picture I got to see the other day from Mr. F-Bomb, because he loves sending me these nasty pictures, he hit it right here, and it went up, and it looks like all this is all blood. I don't know where it went, but in knowing what I know, he probably didn't do what he should have did, and he may regret that, and that is go to the hospital and let them cut it open and clean it out. Because what happens is when we get that nasty water shot up in there, is then we get infections, and that's another whole problem. So, and it was pretty freaking nasty. So this is definitely something that we have to think about, of making sure that we're taking safety precautions so that way we can not die. And what happens if you do get hurt, what happens to you, right? And this is why it is important that we do this. Thank you for the super chat, Artie. I appreciate that. And then lastly, but not leastly, my favorite, not marketing their business, right? This kind of goes back to they buy this $20,000 trailer and they don't market their business and they go out of business. And this kind of goes hand in hand with not financing, having, not charging enough. Because what happens is people charge $200 and their average ticket's $200. So if they wanted to spend money on marketing, and if we spend 10%, that means they're willing to spend $20 to get a job. But if you can get your average ticket up to $1,000 or $1,500, let's just say $1,000 because we like easy math, I can spend $100 per customer to be able to get a $1,000 job. And this is why it is important that we understand marketing. We also understand how this works over here. So that way you are able to keep growing your business, right? You want to grow your business because marketing is the backbone of your business. Equipment doesn't make you more money. Marketing makes you more money. And so that's why I tell people to buy used, to buy, go rent till you can get stuff coming in, because most people struggle in getting business. And that is why I teach you to keep doing what you need to do and keep growing your business. And that's why marketing is so important. Marketing is probably the number one thing that you need to do. Shiny object syndrome, no money for marketing. And this is so true. I hate when I have to help people and they're like, I got a $20,000 rig, and I'm like, how much have you spent in marketing? I don't know. What's your average ticket? I don't know. I got an 8-gallon minute. How much did you do last month? I don't know. But I got a 24-inch big guy surface cleaner and a Whisper Wash 19-inch surface cleaner and blah, 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 blah. And they just spew about equipment, right? They just spew about equipment. I love equipment too. But I want to tell you, it's about marketing. I'm listening. You making 50 yard signs to put out tonight. It's so important that we do marketing, and some people want to know what the best avenue is. It depends. Really, when we talk about customer service and we talk about marketing, they kind of go hand in hand. Right? Because if we have an amazing website that answers all these questions for them, and they stay on that website forever and learn all about your company and know who you are, and I was looking at a website yesterday, and it's a great looking website. Can't find the phone number, and you don't see one picture of the kid. It's like, dude, put pictures of you on there. That's one thing I'm going to tell you. People want to buy from people. With the AI world and with AI going crazy, the thing that's going to set you apart is probably two things. One is video of you, and two is you. Because I can make anything sound amazing and make any company sound amazing in about 2 minutes on AI between Bard and ChatGPT. I use it all the time. But you know what I can't do is pictures of other people, right? I can't show the human side of it. And so the human side is the thing that's going to set you apart from everybody else. It's going to be the human side. I've been setting up websites here lately. If you didn't know, you can go check it out. kingofmarketing.io. I'm finally getting halfway caught up. But I'm not all the way caught up, but I'm getting halfway caught out. And so I'm always asking, I need pictures. And I get pictures of before and afters of crap. I'm sorry to say it, but that's what it is. Pictures of trailers, pictures of whatever, but I can't get no pictures of them. I'm like, I need pictures of you. Pictures of you are what sets your business apart from every other business, right? That's what's going to set me apart. That's what's going to set you apart, right? I can make the most amazing stuff out of AI. Give me that. And AI will probably eventually take over. And AI is going to do a lot of this stuff. But they don't have the human part of it. And the human part is what sets you apart, right? The human part is what sets you apart from every other competitor. Because they're not doing it. They're too scared to show their face. Because even the customer cycle of this, the customer journey cycle of it is, are you got a uniform on? Do you look professional? Do you clean shaven or at least nice shaved? Right? Keep your hair. I'm just saying, I know I hate it as much as anybody. And I'll be the first to tell you, I hate it that looks, because I've never been a person about looks. I mean, you can see a lot of times I don't get my hair cut like I probably should. Don't shave. I don't always wear the shirt I probably should. And I get it. But looks do have a lot to do with setting yourself apart from your competitors. One thing I did do is everybody was in a company t-shirt or company shirt, whether it was polo. When I first started, they were all in polos. Then they went to a t-shirt, and then everybody was in khaki shorts because khaki shorts didn't show bleach as bad. And that's what I made them all wear. And I gave them sweatshirts. Now, was there times that they wore their sweatshirts and I got pissed off and they had to go get new ones and I had to give them new ones, but they wouldn't wear their new ones? They were like that old nasty bleach went out? Yes, there was. But it is definitely something that you can do to set yourself apart, right? And put those pictures on your website. Put those pictures on your social media, right? That's part of that customer journey in the very beginning, between your website and your social media and your LinkedIn and all of that stuff, right? That's the human in you that you can't replace by AI, right? I've got AI hair, can't help that. And some people might have AI hair as in bald and they can't grow hair. Is AI ain't existent or something? But it is important that we make sure that we do this. Half my companies can't remember what my company is called, but they call and text me by name. Buy from people. And this is even back to the customer journey of, you could send them a text and say, hey, save my phone number in your phone under this, and you give them the card, right? We're going to set ourselves apart. Some people might do it, some people won't. But the people that will can be like pressure washing. Hey, there's that dude that's a pressure washer. I remember he sent me his name and information. Bid commercial jobs, that's where the money is. It is. I like commercial. Hi, any tips finding a driver for the summer? I talked to friends and no one has a license. I'm 15, can't get my license sadly, but need rides for jobs. Just see if you can find some older friends, 18, 19 years old, and you pay them 10, 15 bucks an hour, 15 bucks an hour to drive you around. That's how you could do it. The other thing is see if you can stay in one area. I know you might not live in a high-end area, but if you can get to that area and that's all you focus on, you just focus in this neighborhood. Those are things that you can do to set yourself apart. I get it. I don't know where you're from, but it can be hard, especially when you're young. But don't let that stop you. Don't let it stop you. Even if you got to do it at night, maybe on the weekends that your mom and dad, somebody, whoever can take you, and you got to book around it and say, hey, I'll give you $25. I'll take me from here, sit there and wait till I get done and bring me back home. Right? If you have a trailer, they can drop it off and pick me up in 2 hours. However, I can make it easy for them. The guy is almost not far from me. He is from Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. I'm going to scroll up here a little bit. If y'all got any questions, you can throw away at it. How many people in here get lots of tips? Hopefully a lot of people do. Speaking of payments, what are your thoughts on offering financing through a firm, that is? You can, if it's over a certain certain amount of job. The service is usually talked about for 5 minutes tops, and on average, we just talk in general for another 20 to 30 minutes. That's the whole goal. I get tips 95% of the job. I add it to the CRM. Trailer will sit there and rot. So far, 9 out of 10 tips. I probably get tipped 60% of the jobs, especially on payment through CRM, but the credit card charges eat those up too. Well, that's a good thing about the credit. That's a good thing about the tips. It pays for that. Right? And before I added to my CRM, I was probably only at 25%. One man show is not a business. That's why I'm training an employee. There's a reason you use 2 to 3 foot lance on the gun. That is one of the reasons. This here is important. Treat it like a gun. This is one thing I teach a lot about, and I'll hit on it tonight because I love safety, and this will be the safety tip. That pressure washing gun, treat it as a gun. What are the 4 rules about a gun, pressure washing gun? tell me what the 4 rules are. Can anybody tell me what the rules are of a regular gun? It goes for a pressure washing gun, right? Never point it at someone. Always treat it as it's loaded. Never keep your hand on the trigger or finger on the trigger. Always point away from you, so don't point in the windows because it will blow through the window. But you treat it like a gun for sure. I had a welding business for years, and I was scared to get hurt because I never built it to survive without me. Not this time. Yep. Shiny object syndrome. If y'all got any questions, you can ask away. Half my customers can't remember me. My 5'11" shorts and pants don't bleach. Neither my work shirts. Yep, and it makes you look good. What brand of shirts were you using? I use like Nike or you want dry fit. 100% polyester is what you want, so they don't bleach. What's your best method of finding pressure washing jobs? This is tough. This is real tough. Can anybody guess what my number one thing of getting business is? This is tough right here. This is really tough. Right here. Right here. Yard signs. This is probably the best way that I know that you can get business. Now, I got 2 people in my membership and 1 in my mentorship that does a lot of door knocking. And he's done door knocking. I haven't even met him all the way 100%. He just joined. And he did, in 2 weeks, he's at $7,000. $7,000 by door knocking. So there's money to be out there. You just got to go find it. How bad do you want it? But yard signs is definitely the best thing that I know. What I teach the most on is because it's simple, it's easy, it's not hard, and you can make a lot of money at it. So moneybushes.com is where you can go get them. And yard signs is definitely by far the best way that I know people get business. What's the average price insurance per month? Depends on where you're located at, what all you're wanting insured. It can be anywhere from about $800 to $1,000 to $20,000. Hey Jason, should I pay someone else to do door hangers? I would consider paying someone to go knock on doors. If I was going to pay somebody, I would go knock on doors, and I would pay maybe a high schooler or somebody, see who can sell good, and go sell jobs there that need pressure washing. You do need to set them up with, you will need to set them up with a script and kind of go through that script, but that's what I would, if I was going to pay somebody to do it, that's what I'd do. Is there a difference in pricing commercial versus commercial residential? Yes, there is. Just depends on what it is. What's up, Joey? Don't point it at people. Don't point it at the house, because it will go right through the window, and then you get to buy a window. The nozzle tips. Anytime you change out the nozzle tips, don't point it at the window, because it will go right through the window. It's not a good thing. It's not a good feeling to see one of those tips go through, or it'll go flying out, and then you can't find the stupid thing. Just did a tiny deck 10 by 10, and I'm doubling my deck cleaning prices. Man, I would be $1.50, $2 a square foot all day long for decks. I hate decks, and people still pay it, so that's what's awesome. Are video reviews more effective compared to showing photos of Google reviews on your website? Yes, absolutely. Because it's not just someone typing it or just showing it. It's actually, this is that person. And that person, especially if they're older, right? If it's an older person, well, they used an old person. He did that older gentleman's house. He can do my house, right? You want people to be like their people. Make sure the tips are there, signs. I feel that. Put out 500 yards on yard signs. I'm about to make a review for a video on FinPrint. Run, Sydney. That's funny. You might want to go to kingofmarketing.io. Just saying. Or you can listen to Nathan too. 90% of the videos I see most are not protecting their lungs and eyes. Yeah. Any advice on cleaning windows with oxidation frames and water-fed pole pain in the butt? Are you talking about when they flash oxidize, when it turns orange, or are you just talking about oxidation in general? Usually I try to stay away from the oxidation in general. If you're talking about flash oxidation where it'll turn orange, the best thing to do is go get an acid and put the acid on after. We use Def9 or whatever acid we had when it would do it, and then that way it'll change. You just got to make sure that stuff don't mess up the windows. Um, I had 2 good weeks with my yard signs. That's good. You know, talking about yard signs on Monday Night Marketing, because you need to join King of Pressure Wash. If you want to join, you can go type in schools out with an SCOOLS out, all one word, and get a discount in King of Pressure Wash. And last Monday Night Marketing, I had Rick in there, and Rick was saying that he'd been in business for there should be out, but I don't know why there hasn't been no podcast, and I have to do some work on that. Sydney, just look at who's telling to use it. Jason, no podcast. I didn't know if it was coming out or not. It was supposed to. I have to talk to my person, or I will have to find me another person. So if you know anybody who wants to do podcast for me, they can do that. But it is definitely something that, where was I going? Oh, Rick had been in business for 4 or 5 years, and he had used yard signs before, but he didn't do them right. He put all the crap on them, and they didn't do very well for him. This year, he had like a $25,000, $30,000 month because he used yard signs. The average ticket went from $200-$300 to $800-$900 because he's getting so booked busy from the phone ringing so much, all from yard signs. So I know I push yard signs a lot, and there's a reason why I push them, because it's pretty easy to push them. So that's definitely a reason why I do it. I use a J-rod. I don't bother with individual nozzle tips, but even the J-rod will go flying off. I've seen that happen. Looking good. JG, weight update. So I have lost, I'm down. I've started at 319 on January 9th. And the other day I weighed in at 267, so I'm at 52 pounds right now. So that is how I've been doing. Yesterday I had a big milestone that I went to do a run at the park, and let's put a jog. We don't want to talk too much about running because I ain't at no run. But jogging, I was able to jog a whole mile without stopping, which that's been huge. Usually I stop 3, 4 times, 5, 6, 7, 10 times before I get to the mile. And yesterday I was able to run the whole mile without stopping. I actually did 3 miles. I did a lot of stopping after that. But that first mile, I did it in like 11 minutes, which is one of my best times on the mile. So that's kind of where I'm at right now and trying to get to 250. So my goal is to get down to 250, and that's where my goal is. But I have definitely feel better. And this is something that if we don't take care of our bodies, it can definitely, it doesn't matter how much money you make. It doesn't matter how much everything else is, but that can be something that we got to take care of our bodies ourselves. So that is for sure something you may want to do. How big of a difference will a loose belt affect pump performance? It can affect it quite a bit, actually, because when it starts to go under pressure, it'll start slipping, and you may not even know that it's slipping. I use LA Awesome on oxidation, but make sure to dilute, and test spot works great. Yeah, because if you're not careful, you will have nice shiny metal with that. Will too much pump oil slow down a pump? No, I wouldn't think so. Make sure your unloader valve's good too. I'm just talking about just pure water from a water-fed pole hitting the oxidation frames and running down white. Oh, I got you. Yeah, that can be a pain sometimes. And that's why when I teach, I always go around the frame first. Like I scrub the frames first, and then I don't go over to them again. Otherwise, you'll mess it up. So that's how I do it, and I try not to go back over there. So that's the best way to do it. Not that it always happens, but it's definitely a way to do it. But if you want to join King of Pressure Wash, check out School's Out. First month free. You can do it. My kid's last day is on the 20th, or went Thursday. Also, if you need a website, looking for one, the different marketing stuff, go check out kingofmarketing.io. I got that site up and running. And then last but not least is the in-person training. You can go to KPW Train, or you can go to King of Pressure Washer and go to in-person training and find out about the dates. I'm having one in June, and then I will be doing one in July up in Indianapolis with Fred Zimmerman, and then some in there. But if you've thought about doing Christmas lights is definitely something that is very profitable, especially if you're in a winter month area where you can't work in the wintertime. It can make you lots and lots of money. So definitely go check out that for sure. I need to get a job with you. Jason, you have to add resistance training, weightlifting to continue to lose weight with the carnivore diet. It's kind of funny because like I'll lose like 4 or 5 pounds and then I'll gain 2. And then I won't lose nothing, and then I'll lose 4 or 5 pounds, and then I gain 2. So that's where I've been at right now. So Saul Gregory removing carbon today. Gotcha. Thanks for the super chat from Mr. Sterling. But other than that, I hope you all have an awesome night, and we will see you all later.